I'm back again, and this is not really a surprise, but it is an update on the Meghan and the Harry front yet again. Prince Harry's planned trip to the UK for the unveiling of his mother's statue, and I think that is to happen outside of Kensington Palace. It's going to be in the grounds of Kensington Palace, is in serious doubt, and I think that he simply just can't be bothered to come back, to be honest. He may come back because it represents a very lucrative PR opportunity that he can use to spin in a way in which he can propel and pump up his stint in America with Meghan a bit longer. They are now really scrapping for any kind of relevancy that they can get, because we know that they draw their relevancy from their association with the royal family, from the firm. I don't know if he's going to come back. I think that due to his frosty reception that he actually did receive from other royals at his grandfather's funeral, he probably is not looking forward to coming back because he has not been forgiven. Allegedly, his father tried to extend an olive branch to him and he refused to take it. He actually did not stop to have an extensive chat with Charles and with William and Catherine, like had been reported by various leaky sources. And I think that comes from possibly their PR team just putting all kinds of different stories out there to keep this rift and conversation going, as to extend their relevancy out in America. I'm not sure if Meghan and H are actually aware of the fact that they are now one of the least popular royal couples to date. So I really hope that they are wrapping their heads around not being liked. And it's very hard to be able to market that, especially an unpopular pair. How can you really market people that no one likes? How can they really get a lot of money when they are disliked? They're only really taken in for the controversy and the drama, as opposed to their likability. In the last few years, I've really become a fan of Catherine Middleton and the children, watching their young family grow up. And I can see in her demeanour, as I've said in previous recordings, that she really is a nice person. She's a genuinely nice person. I really think she is. With Meghan, there's just never been that window of opportunity apart from seeing her mum Doria. The person that I like out of Meghan's camp, I would say, is Doria, but even she has a dark past. We now know that she went to prison for 10 years for financial crime. So what kind of person is she really? She looks like a sweet woman. She looks like a holistic, relatable woman of colour, a black woman. I'm a black woman myself. And I really wanted them to win. I wanted them to put their best foot forward. But I feel like as a black woman, Meghan Markle and her mum have really let down the side. They have been the most poor representatives of women of colour, especially Meghan being the first in living memory for all of us. I have really been quite heartbroken about the way she has failed and made us look cheap, made black women of colour look like cheap women who have no family values. It's embarrassing that Kate pretty much is shining, like an English rose in the sunset, compared to Meghan Markle, who we felt was going to possibly modernise the firm, but instead she's dragged it all down. And that is really sad. She's really, shortchanged herself. She's shortchanged me as a woman of colour, and she's shortchanged those who invested and believed in her and allowed her to join, i.e. the Queen, Prince Philip, Charles. Everyone has been let down by her. But that's by the by, I digress. So I'm going to get into this article. Prince Harry may be pressing pause on future trips to the United Kingdom. The royal was expected to travel home this summer for the unveiling of a statue in honour of his late mother, Princess Diana, at Kensington Palace. The statue is scheduled to be unveiled on July 1st on what would have been Diana's 60th birthday. Now, however, some royal experts doubt that trip will actually happen after all. Harry recently visited the UK to attend the funeral of his grandfather, Prince Philip, but several reports suggest his reunions with some family members, specifically his father, Prince Charles, and older brother, Prince William, didn't go as well as many may have hoped. Speaking to The Sun, Phil Dampier, author of Royally Suited, etc., predicted that Harry's wife, Meghan, could play a role in him skipping the statue unveiling this summer if he decides not to attend. I personally don't think Meghan will return to the UK, and there was a lot of reports that were leaked of Meghan's resentment and fueled rage and jealousy, and she actually demonstrated it when she went out with the moon bump with baby Archie on her front. She was struggling to carry him. She was smiling from ear to ear like a Cheshire cat. Underneath that mask, we could see it. And she done that because she was upset about the beautiful positive press that the royal family was receiving from the whole world. Globally, everybody tuned in to watch and pay their respects for Prince Philip and his passing. And she ran out on the streets for the first time. She hasn't been seen since that awful, ghastly Oprah Winfrey interview. She ran out and she took the opportunity to have that PR attention shot, which is probably going to result in a major lawsuit for Page Six. And that really was her jealousy, in my personal viewpoint. So I don't think that she wants Harry to return back to the UK to unveil this statue for his mother. And there are also reports, as I've said in a couple of other recordings, there are also reports that she's going to get herself induced in order to make sure that her daughter shares the birthday of Princess Diana. We know that when they announced their pregnancy, they announced it on Valentine's Day, which was very attention-seeking. They had this sickly staged photo shoot of her with Archie in the tree and Harry's bare toes staring back at us. Who wants to see Harry's bare toes? But they did do that, right? So I think that she's going to ensure that he doesn't come back. So I'm going to get into this. And there must now be a serious doubt as to whether Harry will come over for the unveiling of the statue for Princess Diana on what would have been her 60th birthday in July. Dampier also discussed the broken relationship between Harry and Meghan and William and his wife, Kate Middleton, which he said is still strained following Harry's reunion with Will and Kate at Philip's funeral. The relationship between the so-called former Fab Four, Harry, Meghan, William and Kate, is now so broken and delicate that everyone is looking for the slightest signs that it is getting better or worse. Dampier said the discussions after Prince Philip's funeral were a start but were clearly very strained and only an opening move. As for what the royals' next steps should be, Dampier said the Sussexes should focus on their new ventures and do their best to let their feud with the royal family go, at least in the public eye. Harry and Meghan now have all they want to make them happy, if they are going to be, Dampier explained. And that's a big if, because they've got all this money. They have all this access to all these resources, these celebrities. And there you have it, guys. What more can I really say? He's right. I mean, they're carrying on this feud. Meghan has this ever-bubbling, growing jealousy of Kate. And we know it's because Kate's children, baby Louis and Princess Charlotte, Prince George, they have the royal titles. She married the better brother. We all have to admit it. She married the better looking one, the taller one, the more sophisticated, suave one, and the future king. And that has been eating Meghan up inside from day one. She has really been reeling with rage. And it's quite tragic that she cannot just let it go. With all that being said, I'll be back with another one. As I said, to wrap this up, it's very unlikely that we're going to see Harry Boy back in the UK, but who knows, it could change. Bye, guys.